The top story this evening, the government's move to provide a 10% quota for economically weaker sections through a constitutional amendment bill is now a step closer to becoming a reality. As we speak, the Rajya Sabha is debating the bill and it is likely to go through. Congress and other key opposition parties have supported the bill, but several questions were raised during the debate on the effectiveness of the legislation. Here are some of the key questions. How did the government arrive at a 10% figure? Was there a study that was conducted? This was posed by almost all opposition MPs. The next question, how did the government arrive at the 8 lakh rupee annual figure as the limit for exclusion? In fact, the government's own ally, Naresh Gujral of the Akali Dal, asked how a family that owns 5 acres of land and earns 8 lakh rupees an annum can be considered poorest of the poor. And finally, reservation or jobs. What is the need of the hour? Many leaders of the opposition raising the fact that the government job pie is shrinking, and hence, what is the purpose of reservation when the pie is already shrinking? Here are the highlights from the debate in the Rajya Sabha. Take a look.
जिस दीप को बहुत पहले जलना था, उस दिए को अगर नरेंद्र मोदी ने जलाया है, प्रज्वलित किया है, तो उसके आलोक में, उसके उजाले में भारत के युवाओं को आने दीजिए। मैं समझता हूं, मेरी इस भावना को आप सभी लोग समझ गए होंगे।
हमारे दल ने इसके पक्षधर हैं, हमने ये बात उठाई थी। हम सामाजिक न्याय में और खास तौर पे जो अग्रिम जाति के भी गरीब लोग हैं, उनको सही माने में न्याय मिले, एक कदम उसकी तरफ है।
आज मैं आपके माध्यम से सरकार से मांग करता हूं कि इस देश के ओबीसीज को 54% आरक्षण दिया जाए उनकी आबादी के हिसाब से।
This 10% is without data, without quantifiable data. It is in violation of basic structure of the constitution. The people of Tamil Nadu will be affected because of this proposed constitutional amendment. We are stating walk out at this stage.
Sir, when I was in school, I would watch a lot of Hindi films. Rajesh Khanna was my favorite, so there's this Kalyanji Anandji song, which he wrote. Lakshmikant Pyarelal, I think, was the music, which he wrote for the film Roti. We can do all this, but they'll ask the same question, sir. Ye jo public hai, ye sab janti hai. If the jobs are zero currently, and you say 10% of zero, 10% of zero is zero.
In Odisha, sir, we have made reservation for the OBCs 26%. And as we made reservation for the OBC for 26%, it crossed the boundary of 50%. Matter went to the High Court of Odisha. High Court rejected our decision.
Today you say 10% reservation for the economically depressed classes. I'd like to know where you got this number of 10%. Has any research gone into it?
Of course not.
Has any study gone into it?
क्रिकेट में छक्का स्लॉग ओवर में लगता है, मालूम है ना आपको? जब मैच क्लोज होता है तो छक्का लगता है। तो अगर आपको उसी पर परेशानी है तो ये पहला छक्का नहीं है, और छक्के आने वाले हैं।
What jobs are you going to give to the weaker sections of society? And if you look at the Modi years, around 1.7 lakh jobs have been added to the central government level. This works out to be around 45,000 jobs a year on an average. पिछले 5 साल में 45,000 जॉब, 2 करोड़, ठीक है ना? और अगर 10% आप रिजर्वेशन दोगे इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन को, तो इसका मतलब हुआ कि 4,500 जॉब्स पर ईयर उनको मिलेगी। तो मतलब कि दिस कंट्री इज ऑफ 1.3 बिलियन पीपल, 800 million people live in less than 10,000 rupees a month, and you have brought this bill to benefit 4,500 people. Is this the mindset that you have? This is the kind of bill that you are amending the constitution for?
Many questions remain unanswered being raised in Parliament in the debate on Rajya Sabha, but the bill is likely to go through. Now, the controversial Citizenship Amendment Bill, which was passed by the Lok Sabha yesterday, the government, under fire from its own allies in the northeast, has chosen not to table the bill in the upper house today and instead push the Quota bill. The Citizenship Bill aims to provide citizenship to non-Muslim illegal immigrants from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, and the centre's push has triggered protests across the northeast. Home Minister Rajnath Singh defended the bill in the Rajya Sabha and said it was not specific to the northeast but would apply to illegal immigrants across India. The bill has caused a furor across the Northeast, which was already grappling with the implementation of the NRC. In fact, critics argue the bill renders the NRC redundant. There has been widespread criticism of the bill as it seeks to recognize the religion of a person as a criteria to offer citizenship, excluding Muslims. Protests against the citizenship bill have rocked Northeast as the ethnic Assamese see this as a move to legitimize illegal immigration from Bangladesh. The BJP's ally, the AGP, has quit the alliance in protest, but BJP ministers in Assam, like Finance Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma, are reported to have called the bill a necessary intervention to ensure Assamese Hindus don't end up becoming a minority in the state.
यह बिल सिर्फ असम में रह रहे माइग्रेंट्स के लिए नहीं है, न ही यह किसी एक देश से भारत आने वाले माइग्रेंट्स की भलाई के लिए है। हजारों की संख्या में माइग्रेंट्स देश की पश्चिमी सीमाओं से होकर भी गुजरात, राजस्थान, दिल्ली, मध्य प्रदेश और अन्य राज्यों में इस समय रह रहे हैं। यह कानून उनके लिए भी है। मैं फिर स्पष्ट करना चाहूंगा उपसभापति महोदय कि यह विधेयक देश के सभी स्टेट्स और यूटीज के लिए भी लागू होगा।
Well, that's the Home Minister defending the Citizenship Amendment Bill in Parliament. But as I pointed out, the government has chosen not to table it in the Rajya Sabha, perhaps cold feet. And staying with parliamentary action, sources say the budget session of the parliament will commence on the 31st of January and will last till the 13th of February. The government is expected to present the interim budget on the 1st of February. So watch out. Lots of announcements expected. Will they wait till the interim budget? Will they happen before? That's the big question. Now, the Prime Minister led three-member selection committee is all set to meet to decide CBI Director Alok Verma's fate. This a day after the Supreme Court reinstated him as the CBI chief. Remember, as part of the order, the Supreme Court had said that the selection panel must meet and take a call on his powers. The other two members of the panel are Justice A.K. Sikri, and this is also important to note. Remember, the Chief Justice had delivered the judgment, and so he has recused himself and instead nominated A.K. Sikri. Also, Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge will be a member of that selection committee as he is leader of the opposition. Parikshit Luthra joins us now with more. Parikshit, tell us a little more about what we're likely to expect now. Has the meeting started? It was expected to start at 8.
Yes, it was scheduled for 8 p.m. this evening, and indications are the meeting has begun. We believe Justice Sikri and Mallikarjun Kharge, the leader of the Congress in the Lok Sabha, have also arrived for that meeting. Earlier, there was talk within the Congress that Mallikarjun Kharge should not be going at such a short notice. And Mr. Kharge had actually expressed his reservations to the PMO, said that he needs about 2 days to study the draft in detail. He wanted to study the matter in detail before coming for this meeting. He wanted the meeting to be postponed to Friday. But we're now given to believe that Mr. Kharge has also given his assent and he's there for this meeting right now. Congress wants full reinstatement of Alok Verma, saying the charges against him need to be dropped. You pointed out the reason why CJI Gogoi recused himself, because he was a part of the bench that had actually reinstated Alok Verma, but given powers to the select committee to decide on his fate in the next 1 week. So Justice Sikri will be there. His view will be very important, and so will be the view of the Prime Minister. Remember, the central government had told the court that both Rakesh Asthana and Alok Verma, the two warring senior officers, were sent on leave based on a report by the Central Vigilance Commission, which had pointed out to corruption allegations which are being investigated against the two officers. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But I guess in the next 1 or 2 hours, the picture should be clear.
All right, Parikshit, we'll keep coming back to you for more developments on this story. It promises to be a long night. Thanks very much indeed. Time now for a break, but when we return, vendors face a data breach at Amazon India while downloading their merchant tax report. Some sellers receive incorrect information with the data of other sellers on the platform. Market saw a strong start, stumbled at lunch and then recovered sharply in the last hour. The Nifty reclaimed 10,850, led by gains of 0.5%. The Sensex also reclaimed 36,000. The Bank Nifty saw mild swings post-lunch but settled with gains of 0.75%. Mid-caps sulked in trade yet again, with the index ending flat with a negative bias. It's also the beginning of earnings season, so IndusInd Bank was the first to kick off its third quarter numbers. Net profit has seen a marginal increase to 985 crores due to higher provisions and contingencies, while both asset quality saw marginal deterioration and net interest income came in below estimates. So that's IndusInd Bank kicking off earnings season. cnbc TV 18 exclusive, the GST Council will meet tomorrow. We learn from sources that at its 32nd meeting, the Council will focus on revenue mobilization. Sources say the Council may consider a special report prepared by a group of ministers. Timsy Jaipuria standing by with the details. Timsy, what can we expect?
Well, as you rightly mentioned, the Revenue Mobilization GOM has submitted its report, and this special report will be considered by the GST Council on January 10, that is tomorrow when they meet. Now, if you see the analysis that government data shows right now, it shows that the revenue shortfall during the period of April to December has slipped back again to 13%. This number had recovered to 10% during the period of April to November. But yes, after the decimal performance of November figures which were recorded in December, the figure has again slipped back to 13%. Now, if you see the overall moving of states, how states are performing, the worst performing states and union territories continue to be Pondicherry with a revenue shortfall of about 42%. Now, this again becomes a major concern because a lot of states and union territories are below 20% of a revenue shortfall. And remember, government has said that they would be compensating states, that too at an annual growth of 14%. That means 42% negative will be first given as a compensation, and then a 14% growth also will be given out as a compensation. So it becomes heavy on government's pocket to compensate such states such as Pondicherry, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir. Even Delhi has again slipped back to about 20% of a revenue shortfall, which was earlier seen as to be one of the good performing states with almost a revenue gain. So if you see all this math across India, out of 31 states and union territories, only 5 of them continue to remain in good healthy figures, and rest all are under a good shortfall figure. So let's see what is the final move that government takes tomorrow when they consider this special report. Back to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Timsy. Now, the big corporate story, lenders to cash-strapped Jet Airways have sought promoter Naresh Goyal to give up a controlling stake as part of a debt restructuring deal. Sources tell us lenders led by State Bank of India have also asked Goyal to leave the company's board and appoint his son instead. Ritu Singh standing by with the details. Ritu, what transpired in that meeting between SBI officials and Jet Airways?
That's right. Officials from Jet Airways and its partner Etihad Airways met with State Bank of India officials. Remember, SBI is the lead banker in the consortium to Jet Airways to discuss the turnaround plan for the company. We're given to understand that in the meeting, SBI made it very clear in no uncertain terms that no fresh loans would be granted to Jet Airways until the results of EY's forensic audit on Jet's book is completed. In addition, we understand, given that Jet defaulted on the 1st of January, the RBI FEP 12 circular kicks in, which means in 180 days, lenders will have to finalize a resolution plan, failing which the company would be headed into bankruptcy. So under this, they're working on a financial restructuring where a portion of the debt would be converted into equity, which means banks will end up holding stake in Jet Airways. In addition, they've also sought that Naresh Goyal, along with Etihad, bring in fresh capital into the company. And therefore, this restructuring, once implemented, would result in Naresh Goyal losing, majority control in Jet Airways. It has been made very clear that, bankers do not really want the current management with Naresh Goyal at the helm to continue, but a compromise has been reached, and we understand that they are agreeable to his son Nivan Goyal continuing in his board position. Of course, the stakeholding would be reduced significantly from 51% to under 20% once the restructuring is completed. Do remember there's almost 1,700 crore rupees of repayment due between now and March for Jet Airways, and to ease that, if the restructuring proposal is cleared by all of the lenders, it is possible that Jet Airways may also be granted moratorium during this period.
Okay, Ritu, thanks very much. A debt restructuring proposal being put together by lenders of Jet Airways. Now, hit by a data breach in India, cnbc TV 18 learns that Amazon facing a technical glitch which led to a breach of sellers' business records on the platform. Mugdha Variyar is standing by with the exclusive details. Mugdha, what about the scale of the data breach, and tell us about what's been done to correct?
Yes, this problem came to light on Tuesday morning when several sellers logged onto Amazon's platform to download their monthly sales reports. These monthly sales reports, also known as merchant tax reports, are usually downloaded by these sellers between the 8th and the 10th of every month in order to file their GST returns. Now, some of the sellers I spoke to said that the reports they downloaded this time carried incorrect data as well as data of other merchants on the platform. Now, this is what has raised concern among sellers that their own business data could have been exposed to other merchants as well. Now, these merchant tax reports mainly carry sensitive business data of these vendors on the platform, including their orders processed, the sale volumes across categories, as well as the inventory. The scale of the data breach is not clear, but Amazon has over 4 lakh sellers on its platform across the country. When contacted, Amazon India said that the problem had been identified on Tuesday and that it was a technical issue which had been rectified within a few hours. And Amazon now says that the sellers now have access to the correct merchant tax reports. Back to you.
All right, Mugdha, appreciate you joining us here, and congratulations on making your debut on cnbc TV 18. That's her first on the channel. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of What's Hot. Thanks very much for watching.